Something that surprised me, one of my favorite franchises is Indiana Jones. The first three are some of my favorite movies because they have to do with not only history, but they have to do with religion. So they just released an Indiana Jones game called The Great Circle. It caught my attention because I had heard that it had to deal with Christianity. And the root of the story was about like the creation of man, like the Nephilim, Noah's Ark. What surprised me is that it's the first time I've played a video game that was so respectful of my beliefs, because it was treating the flood story as something that happened. It adds a bit of like sci-fi-ness to it. However, it does not deny that God exists. It does not deny that the Judeo-Christian God exists, and that the whole story is centered around that story being true and that Christianity is true. And I never felt so like represented as a Christian like while playing a video game, because another one of my favorite video games is The Last of Us and The Last of Us Part 2. And Last of Us Part 2 is so disrespectful towards Christianity. Neil Druckmann, the guy who created the game, has like stated that the cult in the game that's called the... Have any of y'all played Last of Us Part 2? Mm-hmm. Have you played it?
No, I hate it.
I hate it too. They killed Joel.
They did our boy wrong.
But there's a cult called the Scars. They basically follow like a woman prophet who said that she like saved people or whatever. And like one of the main characters is a transgender, hated that she was a girl, so she turned into a boy. And that because the cult was disrespectful towards her as a transgender, he was basically trying to equate Christianity as being like a transphobic cult. Now, I wasn't saved when I played The Last of Us Part 2 for the first time, and I have not played the game since I've been saved. Looking back on it, I'm like, every game, except for like Uncharted, I'm a big fan of the Uncharted series because it's got a lot, kind of like Indiana Jones, has to do with history and religion. What I found really interesting is that I found myself geeking out because in the main office, when you're in the Vatican part, they have like hung pictures of like depictions of like Bible stories, and I'm going through, it's like, hey, I know that. Hey, I know that. That's Samson. This is David. This is the crucifixion. They took that much care into detail of, they didn't have to add that, but they did. Now, for the most part, I will say video games do not respect Christianity at all.
Heck no.
Now, the original Assassin's Creed, I would argue, does disrespect.
Yeah, there's something with Adam and Eve in it, and
they create their own mythology around.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And so, according to Assassin's Creed, Jesus wasn't the Son of God. He was just a guy who had a piece of Eden and was healing people.
It's mainly just a history.
It's a history. That's all. If you get past like the first, my favorites are 3 and 4. The Kenway. Like
3 is probably the best.
I'd argue. Well, I like the story of 3 the most. I like the gameplay of 4 the most, though.
4 is Black Flag.
Yeah, it's Black Flag. That's the Pirates one. Because I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah, the first couple they did that like Animus thing, and like,
those were cool. And then when you get to Origins, is when it's like.
Now, I enjoyed Origins. I did not enjoy...
I didn't like the gameplay.
I did not like the gameplay that they brought over to Odyssey. I was not a fan of Odyssey at all.
I liked Odyssey.
Well, see, Odyssey it did not feel like an Assassin's Creed game, though. It felt like you're a Spartan demigod. Here's how you kill.
I've played that one, and that one was terrible.
I liked Valhalla. I thought Valhalla was good because it made me feel like a Viking, and I don't think there's any good Viking games.
Skyrim.
Well, that's Skyrim.
That's
based on Nordic. It's Nordic mythology.
Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all are so weird.
You've never played a video game.
I played 2.
Which ones?
Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Okay.
I like
Farming Simulator 22.
Farming Simulator.
See, that's
I got me a nice cattle farm.
Christian played Farming Simulator all of about 5 hours, and we just broke the game because we didn't do any of the jobs that were required of us. The only game that I play, but I really don't play all that often, is like Fortnite, and it's just because me, Landon, and Christian play.
4-year-old again.
Look, I get it. It's a game meant for kids, but
I hate it.
We're kids are.
It's horrible, but we like it because it is
because
horrible.
You get to kill people.
No, you get to have fun.
You get to have fun. It's
fun
more
to kill people is what I'm hearing.
No.
That is what I'm hearing.
It's more fun to play with other people.
It's fun to build a fort just to turn around and get your fort destroyed and get killed.
So me and Christian played a few nights ago, I guess it was. That was the last time.
Nerd.
But I do not like this season, and me and Christian also talked about this. So there's a thing in the new season where you can get a good gun because it's based off of like Japanese stuff. If you sell your soul.
Yes, okay, yeah, I heard about this.
Different game.
Yes, I heard about this.
Yeah.
Man,
This is how pop
a lot
culture's
of
back.
parents were mad,
And
man.
it's like, you know, and like when me and Christian's like,
I heard they took it out. I thought they took it out.
no, it's still there. 'Cause it
Okay.
was there when because there's a big like sky beam that marks it.
Oh man, that's
but, you
no
know,
bueno, no bueno.
But you know, me and Christian, when we were talking about it, I was like, bro, no, because he was like, I don't think it would affect my salvation if I did that. He's like, however, he's like, I don't want to do it. I was like, I ain't doing it. I was like, that's weird. But he was like, it is rough for that. Like, if a kid is playing it, and then they tell their parents like, "Oh yeah, I sold my soul to get a golden scar," and the parents are like, "Huh?" Then it can get into the whole thing of like, you know, kids playing GTA 5, and then that kid who was like 8 years old. No, he was 12 years old. He was playing GTA 5. They ended up like killing his grandma.
Yeah,
because
there's been a couple kids
thought he could
who
get
played
money
like
for killing
GTA and
his grandma.
stuff. Have,
Hey, but GTA 6
Like,
is
went
coming
killed
out
it.
soon.
It's
like,
never gonna come.
It's
will
coming out in a
Jesus is
few
coming
months.
back. Jesus is coming back before GTA 6 comes out.
I will say I've played GTA 5 and I still play it occasionally on my PlayStation. I like the game because I've completed the story mode and I have that $14 million you get from completing it.
We were just talking about idols and rich.
So I get to just buy whatever, but I lost interest multiple times, whereas usually it takes someone like a week to complete the story mode. It took me a year and a half because I kept losing interest because of the dialogue and like the plot of the game where you have to go and you have to kill people and rob the banks and everything. It made me lose interest multiple times.
Play it more.
Because I didn't agree with that kind of stuff.
Something that I found interesting. So I'm a big fan, and Landon is too, of Red Dead Redemption 2.
That's a good game.
And
oh man,
It's a banger.
the story, I've replayed that story like 3 times, and it's something. And there's a game that's also respectful towards Christianity as well, because 2 of the main characters, one of the main characters, what is her name? Mother. She's the nun.
Mother Mary.
oh, I can't remember her name, but yeah.
I can't remember what her name is.
Sister Mary.
I don't know about
No, she was a Hispanic.
Well, there's also an honor system in the
There's
game.
also an honor system,
So,
which if you play good Arthur, so
you get her, but
yeah. If you get Reverend Swanson,
Ooh, yeah.
he's an interesting character.
that's like a new level of despair right there.
Yeah, it is. I was playing with a guy I went to school with at MMI. So I remember I killed an NPC, and I had a Bowie knife. Dude, I felt so bad.
This is gonna get demonetized on YouTube.
No, but I'm saying, like, I felt so. I've not played Red Dead Online since because I was like, the fact that like someone found like humor in it was like so brutal and so realistic the way that my character had killed this NPC. I was like, I can't. And like also GTA 5, I don't think I could ever play GTA again because of my walk with Christ. Now, I'm not saying it's a salvation issue if you do play GTA. However, for me, it's definitely a sin.
It's a lot better if you put the TV on mute.
And you just don't watch the screen at all.
No, like
Don't play the game.
like once
read
you
your Bible during.
once you get past the story mode
TV's on.
and you get into free mode, it's a lot better if you just turn the volume, hit the mute button, and just go.